Throughout the 2018 season, Tyreek Hill was one of the best deep threat receivers in the NFL. His speed and ability to create separation at the top of his routes has been a hallmark of the Chiefs' offense. It seemed like in every game you turned on, you saw Patrick Mahomes step back and pop one deep to a wide open Hill. However, in his game against the Patriots in the AFC Championship, he only caught one pass and was largely held in check. For this video, I wanted to see how exactly the Patriots did this. Was it scheme related? Was it a great defensive performance by a certain player? Or was it something else that contributed to him having one of the worst games of the season? During this game, Hill was used in two primary ways. He was used on routes like fades and posts down the sideline, and he was used on flare routes to horizontally stretch the defense after a motion. He was also used on a few routes that crossed the field like slants and digs, but those were more the exception rather than the rule. From the Patriots' standpoint, 6 different defenders covered Hill during this game. Jonathan Jones covered him for 21 of his 36 receiving snaps, while Keon Crossen covered him for 7. Other defenders like Stephon Gilmore and Patrick Chung made up for the rest of his plays. In order to combat the Chiefs' dangerous passing game, the Patriots primarily played man coverage. They played man on 81% of Hill's snaps. Out of those plays, they designed a high-low bracket coverage in order to remove him from the game. They did this on 14 plays according to my tracking. This purposeful design to take a safety out of his normal deep responsibility basically told the Chiefs that the Patriots didn't care about the other receivers. As long as Hill didn't make an impact, Belichick wagered that the offense wouldn't be able to move the ball successfully through the air. While this did hold true for the majority of the game, it broke in the middle of the second quarter. Hill had his first target, and he gained 42 yards. Mahomes lined up in shotgun. The Chiefs were in a trips look to his right, and Hill stood on the inside, lining up directly across from Keon Crossen. Crossen took inside leverage and gave Hill a free release outside. Hill used his speed to instantly get by, and he stacked Crossen 15 yards down the field. It's at this point in the play where he had the defense beat. Since the Patriots were playing with a single high safety, McCourty had to make sure he stayed over the top. This opened him for Hill's post corner route. Hill stemmed further inside, forcing McCourty to flip his hips, and then he broke back towards the sideline. From the backfield, after Mahomes took his 7-step drop, he launched the pass as soon as he saw his receiver break outside. This led Hill into open space. Hill jumped into the air, and he secured the ball for the big gain while falling to the ground. Like I mentioned a minute ago, the Patriots were okay giving up potential gains to other players as long as Hill didn't make an impact. The Patriots were very lucky on certain plays where the offense simply didn't connect with their opportunities. Literally one play later, Damian Williams was wide open on a wheel route. The ball was just overthrown. Notice how the safety immediately bracketed Hill while allowing his linebacker to get isolated against the running back. This is how Damian Williams was so wide open. But again, they were just simply lucky that the pass fell incomplete. These are the opportunities that a player like Hill brings to this offense. Yes, he didn't make a catch on this play, but his presence alone opened up this throw. That same luck they had on the wheel route ran out at the beginning of the third quarter. The Patriots purposely bracketed Hill once again. He ran a drag route, which pulled Jonathan Jones across the field, while the deep safety jumped underneath to make sure Jones was protected over the top. Meanwhile, Sammy Watkins ran a dig route against Stephon Gilmore off the right side. While Gilmore actually had him covered well out of his break, Mahomes had plenty of time in the pocket. This allowed his receivers to improvise. Watkins turned his route up the field, and Mahomes found him for a perfect deep strike, setting up a touchdown on the very next play. Once again, even a drag route by Hill was able to pull 2 defenders on this play. It was because of this that Gilmore didn't have deep help over the top. With the pass rush not getting to the quarterback in time, Gilmore's coverage eventually broke down, and he allowed this 54-yard gain. After Hill's first catch in the middle of the second quarter, he wasn't targeted again until the middle of the fourth. He lined up in the slot, and he ran a double move up the right sideline. He ran an out and up route, looking back towards his quarterback before turning up the field. His defender, Jonathan Jones, played this route very well. He didn't get baited into the underneath pass, and this forced Mahomes to sail his throw innocently out of bounds. Hill's third and final target in this game came with just 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This target was very similar to his 42-yard reception. He ran another post corner route, defeating the double bracket coverage of the Patriots defense. After the snap, Hill took an outside release using his speed to stack the cornerback. He bent his route inside towards the middle of the field, looking over his shoulder to sell the post. However, this, just like last time, was only there to set up the outbreak and cut. He attacked the safety to force him to flip his hips, and then he broke back towards the left sideline. He had both defenders beat just like last time. Unfortunately, the pass was thrown way too far inside. Mahomes was under pressure and was hit while releasing the ball, so it didn't allow him to fully throw the pass where it needed to be. On this play, Hill actually had to break up a potential interception. If the offensive line could have stopped his three-man stunt of the left tackle, this realistically would have been a touchdown instead of the incompletion. While he didn't have another target in this game, his presence opened up multiple deep shots down the field. We discussed Watkins' big play in the second quarter, and Hill's receiving ability directly opened up the final 27-yard pass to Marcus Robinson. This set up the game-tying field goal that sent this match to overtime. The Chiefs were on the Patriots' 48-yard line and had 23 seconds left. After calling their third timeout, they lined up in a bunch right formation. Hill lined up as the inside slot receiver and he motioned across the field. Notice how Jonathan Jones followed. This is an obvious signal that the Patriots were in man coverage. Similar to before, they were in cover one man. They had a single high safety while playing man coverage on the receivers. After the snap, Mahomes saw the deep safety instantly jet towards Hill's route up the left sideline. This opened the center of the defense. DeMarcus Robinson ran his deep crossing route into this vacated space. The pass by Mahomes was excellent. Even though he couldn't step up into this throw, he launched the ball only using his arm. He hit his receiver in stride. This was a beautiful throw, and it was just what they needed in order to set up the game-tying field goal. While this play and all the previous plays may seem bittersweet to Chiefs fans, Hill still made an impact even though his personal production was limited. You can't say that he disappeared or anything like that because the Patriots purposely game planned the Chiefs' best weapon out of this game. It was up to the rest of the receivers to step up, and they did occasionally, which kept this game close to the ending. Looking at this game from a coverage standpoint, I saw 14 times when the Patriots purposely sent a bracket coverage in Hill's direction. I didn't include any of the zone coverage looks where Hill's routes crossed multiple zones, so this 14 is purely when the defense was playing man coverage. On these 14 plays, the Chiefs created 4 plays of greater than 20 yards. This totaled 144 of Mahomes' passing yards, which is almost exactly half of his total. We discussed a couple of these plays earlier on, but needless to say, double covering Hill was a high-risk, high-reward decision that paid off for the majority of this game. Yes, they allowed some big plays, but the Patriots also sacked Mahomes 3 times as well using this coverage. Those 3 sacks ended drives simply because the Chiefs receivers couldn't separate against the Patriots' aggressive man defense. Speaking of pressure, I was surprised and impressed by how much the defense created in this game. The Chiefs have a very good offensive line, however, they struggled to pick up the Patriots' stunts in games. Kyle Van Noy collected 2 sacks, while other defenders made a couple of key plays here and there. This kept Mahomes off balance, and they contained him in the pocket, which helped limit some of the bigger opportunities outside. While the Patriots primarily played man coverage in this game, they were actually pretty successful while they played zone. They did this on 19% of the passing plays. They only allowed 2 receptions for 6 yards. Schematically, all their zone calls were cover 3, and with that success, I might have considered calling more zone later in this game. However, I do understand what they were trying to do. Again, they limited Hill, and they trusted that their other cornerbacks could play physical man coverage on the Chiefs' other receivers, which worked for the majority of this one. Moving on, the Super Bowl is this weekend, and the Patriots face another talented deep threat receiver. Brandin Cooks, who was on the Patriots last season, most likely won't get the same sort of star treatment as Hill did. I don't think it's lack of respect or anything like that, but I think it has to do more with the Rams scheme. They use a ton of tight, single back formations and run a lot of motion and play action. This is vastly different to the wide open shotgun spread offense that the Chiefs run. Different schemes will create different game plans. In my opinion, I think we'll see a more even split between man and zone coverage in the Super Bowl. As long as the Patriots stay disciplined in their assignments, they'll have a decent shot at slowing down the Rams offense, and that'll be crucial for them to win this game. Well, that's all I have for you. Make sure you sign up at MyBookie to place all of your wagers. If you use the promo code Samuel50, you'll get a 50% sign-up bonus for up to $1,000. In the next couple of days, I'll have my last betting advice video, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. I'll go over my pick for the Super Bowl, and I'll also discuss some player prop bets as well. Thank you again for all of your support throughout the season. If you want to keep this channel going, make sure you check out my Patreon account, and you can follow me on Twitter at SamuelRGold.